Hello everyone and welcome back to the Chatter's Invitational game. I am caster Mighty Benaya. I apologize, it has been several days since I've cast. However, I do want to make note, I did post on YouTube that I was delaying intentionally. I wanted to get some clarifications on some rules from Bytro before I proceeded. Partially as to make sure that I didn't communicate anything in error, and partially because there's a lot of heat in the chatters in the Discord right now, and I didn't want to take a side before I had my facts straight. So most of what I'm going to cover here is not going to be opinion based. Most of what I'm going to cover here is going to be just an analysis of the game. However, I will need to briefly address a couple of things with the terms of service, because it has come into play in this game. So just as a forefront, most of this video is going to be factual, and then as factual as I can make it, and then I will likely do a video. I believe that I'm going to do a video, and I will put the link in the description for this, since it will be this will be a delayed cast. I'll put the link in the description for my assessment on the terms of service and how they impact players and what you need to be aware of, because it took me some time to look into all of the different places that the rules for this game are. So that video should likely be uploaded by the time this one comes out, and I will make sure to include a link in the description. But all that being said, let's take a look at things that are happening in the world on day 14. This is an hour and a half past day 14. And Japan is gone. Japan got removed. They went AI. And so there were several nations that swept in and took out Japan, including Russian Yakutia, and also including Chinese Republic. And it looks like the Philippines got a single province in here as well. So I still have vision of the Philippine spot. Oh, and there looks like one more Japanese holdout here. There may be another island. No, I believe that's the last one. Let me check and see how many provinces. Yeah, one province. So that is the last holdout of the Japanese, and they are about to be overrun by the Chinese Republic. So GG Japan. It was good casting your perspective while you were in the game. I look forward to potentially interacting with you in the future. Moving on down south, the Philippines are, looks like, trying to take on this large island in Indonesia. So have the Philippines joined, have they joined coalition? We will look at coalitions later. I will look at coalitions later. Philippines are working, though, in tandem, it appears, with with Papua New Guinea to take over this island. So a little bit of conflict happening down south. As we move over here to Mongolia, Mongolia is fighting the Chinese Empire, and the Chinese Empire is, in fact, a player. So they are at war. And they have a little bit of artillery on board. So there's a bit of an artillery battle going on here. Two separated artillery versus a single artillery that is protected by a fort. So remember, this is a pre-update game. So the flowering is still effective in this version of the game. So it looks like Chinese Empire is not the only one who is interested in taking over. No, Mongolia facing threats from multiple sides. Dunrado at war over here in the east. Also, British Pakistan coming in to take out Mongolia. Mongolia in serious trouble. They have one... no, this is Philippines. It looks like they took this province and gifted it to the Philippines to prevent it being taken back from them. Also, this is Russian Siberia. Russian Siberia is being cannibalized. Russian Siberia is an AI. Russian Siberia being taken over by both Yakutia over here and Archangelisk over here. So, interestingly, so it appears that Mongolia has right-of-way with all Russian state. It appears that he took a province, gifted it to Philippines to prevent it from rebelling. Maybe they arranged something so where the Philippines will hold it for a certain amount of time and then it will be purchased back. That would be an interesting business model to go about, working with warring states, taking their territories, giving them right-of-way, obviously, taking their territories and holding them for them so that in order for those territories to be taken back, and then he has to declare war on you as well, that may be something that I look into in the future. But it appears that Mongolia is now at war with 1, 2, 3, 4 countries. Let's double check that. Grab one of their people. They're at war with 5 countries. Who did I miss? They're at war with Japanese Empire. Japanese Empire, obviously, pretty much off the table at this point. So 4 enemies plus 1 that is irrelevant. Moving down to Madras. Madras has continued to hold the defensive, and now with artillery en route, they are able to slowly push north. I have not seen anything come out of New Delhi. Is New Delhi an AI? Yes. New Delhi player dropped, so they are now AI, and it should be pretty simple for British Madras to slowly move their way north since they have removed the threat, or the threat has been removed for them by inactivity. Also, one scout here. Who is this scout with? Canada. Canada, your poor fisher boy is way over here in India. What is your poor fisher boy doing in India? And what benefit of that? What benefit is that to you? And B, the poor guy is so far from his family, you should send him back. He needs to spend time with his wife and kids. The poor fisher boy. Okay, that is a reference to another game. You will have to look it up. Moving on. Jerry, the ruthless mouse, has broken out of his bonds. He is now moving south. Looks like he does have 2 artillery pieces. No, 4 artillery pieces that I'm counting currently. So something that I have gotten a little bit of an understanding for. Jerry the Restless Mouse played the stock market early. He didn't expand very much because he wanted to play the stock market, and I will need to learn a little bit more about how players do that so that I can emulate it in my own games. But because he made efforts to play the stock market well, he has been rewarded with the ability to create more artillery than his opponents, and he has moved significantly south. Not only that, he also had lots of infantry because he didn't use any of his infantry. So Finland, Russian Finland, Jerry the Restless Mouse has been moving south, taking out, looks like mostly AI. There's not really that many players down here at the moment, and I don't remember if there was somebody there earlier. But well done. I look forward to seeing how you continue this. Okay. Before I address the rest of Europe, I'm going to move south and finish off Africa. Then I will go to South America, and then I will go into Europe and the Americas because there's a lot to talk about there. Definitely not a pirate. Has generated a significant number of troops. They have moved north into into British Arabia, I believe is what this once was. But it looks like Pakistan is also moving down. Yes, British Pakistan has moved down. And if we remember correctly from what we saw earlier, British Pakistan is also moving troops up north. So interesting military movements by Walrus the 14th. We'll be excited to see how they continue this gameplay, where they go from here, but they do have forces, it appears, split. So while they are defensively in a good position, look at this, they have allies to the north that they have right-of-way with, and AI everywhere else. They have split their forces, so if that ally were to turn on them, things could take a turn for the worse for poor Walrus. Down here, I got another right-of-way from Livingston. From Northern Rhodesia. Northern Rhodesia appears to be in a bit of a perilous situation, as they have been attacked from all sides. Nancy Brawl has been attacked from all sides by Congo, by Portuguese Mozambique, and by German Tanzania. So they have been attacked by a coalition. They've been attacked on all sides, and things are not looking good. Again, remember, this is pre-update, so flowers are impactful. And I'm counting 2 artillery, 2 armored cars up there, and 60 troops attacking from the north, plus those that have flowered down here in the south. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 75 troops from British Congo coming in from the north. And then we've got additional artillery coming in from the northwest. Oh, and here's another one. I did not notice this. French Madagascar. Grandma Rosette, why are you picking on this poor, helpless nation? It's because it's in the way of your coalition's power growth. So unfortunate to see that I got Share Vision right before complete and total annihilation. But thank you, Nancy Brawl, for giving us vision to that. Obviously, this will be posted 7 days into the future, so all of the current intel that can be garnered from this is null and void, because there are different units in different places by that time. Looking over here, Frenchie has successfully taken on all of North Africa, and will be a power player to come. So keep an eye on Frenchie. Obviously, I do not have share map with Frenchie, but just keep an eye on that one. Now to South America. When last we spoke, Lelo Kurd had just declared war and taken over Chile's capital. Chile has now rebuilt their capital in Buenos Aires, right? Pirates of the Chilean. This is Lord Wolf. And it looks like they are liable to lose their capital again to Piratini, unless Piratini has declared peace. Let's see who Chile is at war with right now. They're at war with 89 countries. So it looks like Lord Wolf has decided he has had enough of this game and has declared war on all available countries. We actually had that before. South Africa, prior to their absolute destruction, they declared war on all countries left in the game. And it appears that Lord Wolf has done the same thing before Peru and the Republic of Piratini finish him off. So Peru is victorious in their conquest, in their surprise attack. And again, Lord Wolf, you played a great game. It was great watching you take on other nations. It is poetic that the individual who surprise attacked so early in the game was eliminated by such a devious surprise attack. Well played by all three of these players. Piratini being able to defend thanks to the actions of Peru. and Lord Wolf, unfortunately, suffering the brunt of it. As we move north, it appears that the pirates have decided to make landfall, and boy howdy, what a landfall they have made. They have obliterated the forces in Venezuela. Caracas is a player, so Jimmy Jazz is able to respond, but the response is, quite frankly, likely not enough. He's got 1 artillery, 6 cars versus 3 artillery, 4 artillery, 6 cars, and 10 horses, and 100, and clearly outmatched. Also, it looks like there is right-of-way with an AI for the pirates, so does not look good for Caracas, having to face multiple fronts with cruisers, landings, and massive amounts of artillery. Lelocurd, I would be wary of the Pirates of the Caribbean as they are moving south. Captain Jack Sparrow holding steady after gaining access and control over the Panama Canal. Looks like has joined in to take out Caracas. I wonder if this is a play for oil. Jack Sparrow has plenty of coal, but only 1 oil province. Mexico City has very little oil, and Havana has a lot of oil, but Caracas has a lot of oil there, and they also have iron. So it could be a play specifically to gain a significant foothold in South America to make a play later on. The majority, we'll look at this a little bit later, the majority of the players are in South America, I believe. McLaren's is still up north, but that is 1, 2... Yeah, there's only 3 players left up north, and there are 4 players of significance. Obviously, Lord Wolf is significant in his own right, but has admitted defeat. So the majority of the players are south. So it could be that they are looking to gain oil provinces to fuel their machines of war, but it could also be that they're looking for a landing zone so that they can eliminate the biggest threat and take over all of the Western Hemisphere. Moving north. So Richard Nixon is no more, and I will explain that momentarily, but first I want to go to Europe. So, he who went to Malta. I'm going to stick to facts for this video, like I said in the beginning. Greece, early on, day 10, gold-marked several ships, cruisers. There were accusations in the newspaper, notifications in the newspaper that this had been done. There were some levels of frustration because several people had suggested, hey, let's make this a low or no Goldmark game, and being able to Goldmark a artillery on the first day is more than 2,000 Goldmark. It's 4 hits of the 850. So that's 20, that's almost 30,000, that's almost 3,000 Goldmark for one, and there were multiple. So 3,000 apiece. It adds up very, very quickly. So there were some frustrations. They were expressed in the newspaper. There are mods in this game, and based on the rules that are laid out in the game, the mods were moved to the post. I will go through terms of service and the game rules at a later time, but all of the summary to say, derogatory comments about an individual because they use Goldmark is against the game rules, and breaking the game rules is against terms of service, so they removed posts. The problem is this, and I will emphasize and address this later on, But the problem that transpired is the grease player is a mod. And so regardless of whether or not it was intended, regardless of whether or not there was any actual malice, what was communicated to some of the players of this game was, or how they interpreted what was communicated, was that there was a level of retribution. And how dare you say something that I don't like, I'm taking the post down. In actuality, I'm not sure that that was the intent, but we need to have a conversation about how things are presented. And I'm going to have more conversation on this later in the video that I am going to link, assuming that I do it, but it's going to take me some time to get good words. But suffice it to say, there were several individuals who took exception with both the extensive use of Goldmarks. I used a little bit of Goldmark this game, but it was because I forgot to queue up the factory, and so I was 12 hours behind, so I queued up the factory and Goldmarked it. Nobody has a problem with that. The extensive use being enough to make a significant impact at an early stage in the game. And I will probably have to do another video over Goldmark use, and where it's really, really good, and where it is socially creates tension. But there were some individuals who took a little bit to heart, and were not happy that there was extensive Goldmark use by a representative of Bytro, a moderator, and then subsequent deletion of posts. And so several individuals left the game. One of those individuals was North America, was United States. He evacuated his provinces and told his allies, you know what, I'm done with this game. Go ahead and take my provinces. So we no longer get to see what's happening in North America, with the exception of Washington, D.C., because I have shared a map with one of the pirates. It is unfortunate that this transpired, and I regret that I have to record this section, but it is important to understand what happened and why certain nations completely disappeared. And I didn't want to, this is the reason that I delayed the video, I didn't want to make a video until I could talk about, hey, why is this nation completely off the map? This nation that you were following. He's off the map because he made a decision to leave the map because of things that transpired in-game. I will make, I'm going to work on a script because I want to make sure that it's professionally done. A script talking about terms of service, what I understand about the terms of service, what I understand about the game rules, and how that applies to us so that we can avoid these situations in the future. I'm also going to include there my opinions that I am not going to include in this video, other than what I've already stated, which may have already been too much. That is all that I have for this time. I will say that I am excited to be building, as soon as this artillery completes, I am going to be building a railgun. So that will be exciting for me. Obviously, it's going to be for defense only, but I don't usually get to build a railgun this quickly in the game. And since I'm doing defense only, I'm excited to have it come online here in a couple of days. And obviously, players in the game will know that I have it before the video comes out. But I'm excited to have it queued up. If you have any questions, I really would like to get a bigger community so that it helps everybody learn how to play the game better. I want people that I form a coalition with to have a better idea of how to play the game. And the best way to do that, and I know this is a frustrating part of every video, but is to like, comment, subscribe, because that helps videos get out to more people. And that means more people can learn how to play the game better, which means your coalition mates are better. So serve yourself, do those things, I appreciate any feedback that you can give me on how to make these videos better and how to be better at the game. Soli Deo Gloria, and I'll see you next time.